What's up, traders? It is Friday, November 20th. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap. And in today's video, we're going to discuss the S&P 500 and overall market in general, not being able to get the daily bounces going. So seeing some red flags across the board. So before we jump into today's content, make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and tick the bell to be notified on any future updates. So one article that just came in, Toronto and Peel region move into lockdown starting on Monday as Ontario tries to fend off worst case scenario. So confirmed cases since late January have now climbed to more than 100K. So no indoor gatherings with anyone outside a person's household. Individuals who live alone can have close contact with one other household. Outdoor gatherings are limited to 10 people. Restaurants are limited to takeout, drive-through, and delivery only. Religious services and weddings are limited to 10 people indoors and 10 people outdoors. Gyms are closed, non-essential retail and malls. So this is really going to be a huge blow to the gyms and the restaurant industry already, which are very heavily struggling. So it's not looking good in terms of economic impacts here. The measures come as Ontario reports 1,418 new cases. 8 more people have died, the province said, bringing the official death toll to 3,451. So far this month, 315 people have died in Ontario. So this is to come in effect on Monday, and we'll see if other provinces and states, we know that New York basically is following the same path. They're shutting down schools and that type of thing. We saw the US reported 187,833 new cases as CDC warns against Thanksgiving travel. And we also saw that Mnuchin was rekindling the stimulus talks, but he said, he was getting scrutinized and criticized for his decision about stopping the Federal Reserve funding programs. And he's saying that they have plenty of firepower left. He's going to be leaving them a bazooka, which basically means that they'll have a lot of firepower and money left if they should have to dip back into it. So U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin on Friday pushed back against criticism and the programs on December 31st, saying the next administration would still have an $800 billion bazooka to quell financial market distress. So he is remaining cool as a cucumber, saying that this isn't the end forever. It's just basically being put on hold, and there's still $800 billion that could be left to deploy to potentially the Biden administration if we start to see more states confirm the election results. And we had a sell-off into the end of the day in SPY and across the market. And the biggest thing for me today was, did we break the high of yesterday? And we did not, obviously, on SPY. So the high to break was 358.18. We hit a high of 357.72. And the first clue and red flag was we hit 358.19. So pulled back exactly at that resistance in pre-market. So I knew to be looking out for a down day. And we essentially, if you would have went short at that level, you'd have been heavily rewarded all day long. You'd never have gotten stopped out with a stop just above. And you would have seen a solid over 1% pullback there on SPY and the S&P 500. But you can see we're accelerating the sell-off here after hours. We're down. We lost the 355 level. QQQ lost 290, but trying to bounce now as well. So we failed to break the high of yesterday, and then we confirmed an hourly downtrend. So we needed to see the hourly uptrend confirm, which we had. So we had step number 1, but then we needed to break the high of today, which I mentioned in yesterday's daily market recap video. But we changed the hourly trend, but then we failed to break the high of yesterday, red flag. Then we confirmed an hourly downtrend into the end of the day on SPY. So wouldn't be surprised if we still see daily consolidation and potential news and more lockdowns, more potential contested election results details. We'll see. The media hasn't really been relaying the news on that front, and they haven't been really relaying the news on anything. And I think that's because today was monthly OPEX, and a lot of contracts expiring. So I would anticipate that they're going to be, you know, finger on the trigger with headlines coming out all weekend and all into next week potentially. So now that we have that out of the way, we can look to a general sense of direction into the beginning of the week. So again, failed to break the high of yesterday in an hourly downtrend, just looking to establish a daily high or low compared to 351 and 350. Most important daily supports right now on SPY. We also have the low of 354.15. We are holding that here after hours, but we'll see how we open up into the next week. Taking a look at the crypto space. So Bitcoin trading at 18,600, Ethereum just over 500. Litecoin saw a huge boost there, up hit $85 today. XRP with a nice move. I'm in on an XRP position now as well. I entered at 27 cents and 29 cents, so up comfortably on that one. ADA also took a position in Cardano, seeing some nice gains today. I think I entered that one at 9 cents. And Link seeing a little bit of weakness here, but still up over $14. So crypto, Bitcoin, all-time highs in sight. Ethereum bulls flexing their muscles as well. Starting to see the altcoins catch up to Bitcoin a little bit. Maybe some funds switching out of Bitcoin into other funds as well. Taking a look at the dominance chart, you can see we are breaking down here a little bit on the dominance chart. So it could be just money flowing into other assets at the moment. But like I said, eyeing all-time highs, very, very close to that all-time high here now, 19,800. So we are within about 6% of all-time high. So we've been trucking along day after day, getting about 5–10% gains. So if we do that another day, then we'll be right there at all-time highs, and we'll be looking at a blue sky breakout. So let's just check in with some of our other sectors and some individual tickers here. But taking a look at the weekly chart on SPY, we did close above the 10-week moving average. That's a bullish indicator. The stochastic is cross bullish, and that's bullish as well. So 2 out of 3, and the MACD is crossing bullish as well. So we've got 3 long-term indicators saying that we could potentially be going up into the end of the year on SPY. And taking a look at the daily chart, the MACD is starting to curl bearish. So we could, with the help of news and new lockdowns, that type of thing, cases surging, and it taking a while to get the cure out and deployed to the masses, we could see some temporary short term. I could see us potentially test the 50-day moving average again, down around the 342s, 341.86 to be exact. So we'll see if this momentum to the downside picks up any steam, but we're not really seeing any major red flags, but we're starting to see some red flags, some small red flags at this point. And that was on the inability to break the high of yesterday on SPY, then confirming an hourly downtrend, starting to favor more daily consolidation into next week. So that's where we stand on SPY. I do want to bring QQQ up here. QQQ above the 10-week, stochastic cross bullish, but MACD is still bearish, so lagging on that front. QQQ on the daily, we're above the 100, 200, and the 50, obviously, but closer to the 50 than we are on the SPY chart. So we've got support there at 281. Wouldn't be surprised if we tested that either. But let's run through some of the tickers here. So Dow Jones, daily consolidation looks to be clearly still underway. At the hourly, we should be still in an hourly downtrend. Yes, we are just looking to potentially set a double bottom here. We did get a low of 292.31, and we had 292.28 as support there. So looking like daily consolidation still underway. The dollar not really doing much. Would have expected a little bit more of a bigger bounce there, but essentially had a break to a new lower low without much follow through. So just looking for a daily higher low compared to 92.13. That support held today. Taking a look at IWM, So a little bit of a bull break there. 177.59 was yesterday's high, 177.94. So we broke it without much follow through and then pulled back. So that was a little bit of a red flag there as well, to start to see follow through selling into the end of the day. And we saw IWM sell off with all of our other major sectors into the end of the day as well, but closed a lot stronger than other sectors. So IWM definitely standing out as a league of its own. But the daily chart on the NASDAQ, so we did break the high of yesterday. Looks like the daily bounce is set and underway. We are in an hourly uptrend, so NASDAQ certainly more bullish as well. Taking a look at SMH, the semiconductors, so pulled back, but we saw a nice bounce to begin the day and a nice couple of days in the semiconductor space, but looking to form a daily higher low. Taking a look at the hourly chart, we were in an hourly downtrend. We didn't confirm an hourly uptrend. So we did break the downtrend, but we didn't confirm an hourly uptrend. Now we're just looking for an hourly higher low as compared to 196.67. If we can form that hourly higher low and then break the high of 202.59, then that'll confirm an hourly uptrend, and we'll be confident that the daily higher low is set. And then we'll look up to all-time highs, 202.89. Could be in play for next week. We'll see if we get there. TAN, the solar ETF, daily bounce still underway. Hourly chart, we're in an hourly uptrend, just looking for an hourly higher low. Did see some sell volume there into the end of the day. And again, seeing it move in correlation to the overall markets. US oil, a little bit of a sell-off there into the end of the day, but nothing major, holding EMA 12 support, very bullish. EMA 26 support, sorry, very bullish, and just looking for a 5-minute higher low here. Taking a look at the daily. So daily bounce still underway. We've got resistance at 43.04. But if we lose the 4-hour uptrend, then we can be confident that the daily lower high is set. VIX. Saw a little bit of a lower wick today. Wouldn't be surprised if we tested EMA 26 resistance up at the 26.76 level. Silver finishing the day with an upper wick here now. Hourly chart, just looking for an hourly higher low. Gold in an hourly downtrend now with a lower high and lower low. Taking a look at the 4-hour. So 4-hour consolidation, not quite. It's quite possible that we do see us break the low of 1867, but we'll want to see us lose that and to be confident that we're looking for that higher low. But right now at this point, we're just going to be looking for a higher low to form on the 4-hour chart compared to the low of 1861. But on a longer term scale, we are still within this descending triangle. And we're still struggling. We are red on the week, and we're getting very, very tight. So with everything lining up the way it is, with cases spiking, with new lockdowns potentially coming into play, wouldn't be surprised if we broke this bearish and tested 1670 weekly support, which is our last weekly higher low as well, and also the measured move of the weekly descending triangle. XBI, biotech sector. So finished the day green, and taking a look at the hourly chart. So again, we didn't confirm an hourly uptrend. We are looking to form a higher low. We did have quite a bit of volume into the end of the day. Let's see what happened. So we did sell off and then ramped into the end of the day. So a little bit stronger than the SPY close. As you can see, we dumped into the close and following through here after hours as well. So XBI definitely standing out as one of the leaders. XHB, the home builders ETF, pulled back, tested EMA 26 resistance on the 5-minute, seeing some increasing sell volume there as well. But on the daily, we saw a little bit of an indecision day today. We did break the high of yesterday, so the daily bounce is still underway, but we'll look to that hourly chart as a guide, and we're still holding EMA 26 support, and we're still in an hourly uptrend. So we're just looking for an hourly higher low Most important short-term support is 56.84. XLE, same deal. Looking for an hourly high or low. And didn't quite get the daily bounce going yet. We hit a resistance at 36.07. We double topped essentially and pulled back. XLF, daily consolidation looks like it's still underway as we have yet to change the hourly trend or break the high of yesterday. XLRE, real estate trust, a little bit weaker. So the real estate in sector is just struggling at the moment as well. It seems starting to show signs of cooling down. So like I said, not anything major, but seeing some minor red flags there. XLV holding EMA 26 support, finished with a daily doji. So some indecision. Looking at the hourly, so we did confirm an hourly uptrend with the low at 108.24. Most important support right now on the hourly which is the new hourly higher low at 108.42, and then after that 108.24. But you can see we had a low, high, higher low, and higher high. Just looking for an hourly higher low here, and we'll be confident that that is set once we change the 5-minute trend. And if we look here, 108, and that's all basically coming off of the same move here, but we did see a little bit of a higher low there, but I'm not convinced, especially with the volume ramping up into the end of the day. A little choppy on XLB at the moment, but clearly one of the weaker names standing out from the rest of the pack as weaker, that's for sure. So Apple down 1% today. Amazon was down a little over 0.5%, but still holding 3,000. We had not really that much down in terms of red today. It was pretty mixed bag across the board, but obviously crypto doing really well, work. So Slack Technologies up over 5% today, but fairly mixed across the board. Tesla was consolidating today. We closed under $500. So definitely ended the week bullish, but we didn't quite get over that psychological 500, which would have been nice to see. So we could potentially see daily consolidation into next week. And we did confirm an hourly downtrend here with a lower high and lower low, but we do have EMA 26 support there on the hourly. So that'll be the most important short-term support at 488.54, and a nice visual guide. If we lose that, then we can definitely be confident to expect daily consolidation. But again, we'll want to lose the low of today on Monday to be 100% confident that we can see follow through on the daily consolidation. But we have tons of room for a daily higher low compared to down here around the 402 range. So it could easily pull back 18% and still be in a daily uptrend. We also have EMA 26 and 12 down there around the 434 and 436 range. So keeping an eye on that. But we're starting to see a little bit of red flags in tech as well. And I've been watching this pattern on Amazon, the weekly head and shoulders. Apple has been struggling since the reverse split and the all-time high. You can see that we're just in a weekly equilibrium that's still playing out. And we're holding EMA 26 on the weekly as well. But definitely going to be interesting to see how this weekend and next week shapes up. Taking a look at Canadian MJ, so pretty red day across the board for the most part. Oxley was down 12% today at 35.5 cents, so that led the move down. NSP, Tilray, ACB up, green up the most. Tilray up almost 10%. Not sure if there was any news behind that. But congrats to the Bulls. And we saw Hexo breaking down to a lower low today as well, but not really seeing much follow through. So we're just looking for the daily bounce. So right now we're going on day 9 of a lower high essentially every single day from the recent huge move in the Canadian cannabis space and cannabis space in general, based on that US hype that we saw and the Biden victory. But once this daily bounce does get going, I anticipate it to be fairly fairly decent. I would expect over double-digit gains for sure, as we would just anticipate a potential lower high compared to 109. But not really forming any resistance level. We don't really have any resistance on the daily from up there until the 109 level. So once this daily bounce does get going, it could be a doozy, and we'll look for an hourly trend change to be confident that the daily high or low is set. But again, we need to break the high of today on Monday to be confident that the daily bounce is underway. And that's the case with a lot of names right now. So that's where we stand. Taking a look at USMJ, I've got a little bit of USMJ, a little bit of Canadian MJ. I'm also short QQQ and SPY. I'm holding those positions over the weekend. So, you know, I got my long MJ positions and hedging with QQQ and SPY shorts, but ultimately short those ETFs in general anyway. I do think that there's a lot more room for downside than upside, especially in the short term with all this uncertainty. But taking a look at TrueLeave. TrueLeave was down over 6% today, so down quite a bit from its all-time high around $36. We saw the bigger MSOs, CL, Cresco, we saw Cura, GTII all down 4%. So clearly US was weaker than Canadian MJ today. Do you have any green? Chiron up 8% on the news that Mexico is looking to legalize cannabis. So we'll be keeping an eye on Chiron as well into next week, but that's pretty much where we stand. So again, just keep an eye out for any potential lockdowns or any potential headlines about the election getting more heated and contested. So whether or not, you know, we see any peaceful transfer, it's pretty much a 50-50 coin flip at this point. Personally, I don't think they're going to walk away easily, but more and more states start to confirm the recounts, and the Trump administration paying $3 million to do this. And it's going to take some time, obviously, because that resources that it takes to go into that obviously is covered by that $3 million, and it's going to take some time. So it could be another week, could be a couple of weeks, could be even in January before we see this settle through. So maybe once we see the dust settle, we see a general direction for the longer term in the overall markets. But right now we are very, very cloudy with a cloud of uncertainty, and investors do not like uncertainty. So just make sure to have a plan, have a stop loss, and just know your risk and don't invest any more than you're willing to lose. So with that, have a great weekend, everyone. It's been a great week. It was a long week, so take the time, get rested up, and we'll see you Monday for another daily market recap.